Hi, I'm Miles Protter. Many of my clients today are telling me that their teams are burned out and stressed because of unrealistic workloads and timelines and working hours. And it doesn't matter whether it's in Australia or the Middle East or the 7 countries in Asia where I work. And, it just seems like everything is a priority for these organizations that they work for. But the toll on people's health and well-being is enormous. One client sent from me, he says, the clients don't care, they want it now. And we try and manage it as best we can, but my people are just leaving in droves. And research by Gallup reveals that 44% of employees worldwide felt a lot of stress the previous day. We operate as if the pandemic's over, but the sadness and the anger and the worry haven't gone away. And that accounts for the fact that 80% of employees around the world are disengaged. In other words, they don't care. And I ask my clients, how are you doing? And the funny thing is, leaders don't want to admit that they're stressed because we're supposed to be able to handle it, right? That's why we're paid the big bucks. But in truth, if they're not drowning, most of the ones I know are just really looking after themselves. You see, the only way we're going to meet this challenge, though, is if we completely change our relationship to it. And the first thing, I think, is we have to accept that no matter what kind of organization we work for, the workload is not going to change. And organizations exist to fulfill their goals, and they're going to optimize within constraints. And if people are burning out and they're still productive and not complaining enough, nothing is going to change. The only thing that's going to drive change is if leaders stop pushing the work on people and trying to patch up the wounded with some sort of wellness program. Okay? Instead, they've got to embrace the fact that this is a values conflict, right? And they've got to start embracing the value of caring for people themselves and start looking through the values lens. So this is one example. A participant in a workshop last week, she said this, she said, I've always talked about my team as resources, but I've just realized they're people, they're human beings. They're just like me. They've got families. They've got lives. A light really went on for this lady. See, when our focus is only on getting work done, then people are tools and we only pay attention to them when they break. But when we value people for their intrinsic worth, caring for them is not an afterthought. It actually becomes part of who we are and what we do, and we look at everything through a values lens. Now, this same lady, she says, I'm going to start listening to my people, to their concerns and their ideas, because I know we can fix the problems together. And another leader said this, he goes, in progress meetings with customers, I'm going to start talking about how we can care for his people and mine. We must be partners in this. That is such a huge shift, And because what it indicates is that these leaders have taken a stand for people's well-being. It's a core value. They look through the well-being lens and they start finding ways to make it real and holding each other to account. It is possible to do this, because I've seen it happen when leaders take a stand for people's well-being. And if you want to talk about how you could maybe make this happen where you are, get in touch with me. Otherwise, I hope this has been helpful and look forward to talking to you again soon.